Hi guys, today's video is about parallax control for panorama photography. Forgot your nodal rail or never had one? So how we keep parallax under control when we have to move fast? Firstly, quick definition. Parallax is the apparent shift between near and far objects as you pan the camera around the wrong point, not around the lens's optical center. In panoramas, it causes torn seams, ghosted edges and mismatched overlaps. I always carry a nodal rail, but on expeditions, people forget them or don't own one. Here is the field-tested way to still get a clean stitch. First, I set a stable baseline. I level the tripod using the bubble at the apex above the leg junction. Never the bubble on the head. The camera goes in portrait orientation. I use manual exposure, manual focus and a fixed white balance. Stabilization is off in both body and lens. I trigger with a 2-second timer or a remote. Hack 1. At distance and simplify the foreground. If anything is right against the lens, tree, grass clumps, rocks, I step back to push the foreground into mid-distance and reframe the cleaner anchor like a rock 3 to 5 meters away. Quick parallax check. Pick a near object and a far object on the same vertical line, pan a little and watch how much the near object slides to the far one. If it slides a lot, step back again, purchase a different foreground that isn't glued to the lens. Hack 2. Go a bit longer in portrait and build with more frames. A slightly longer focal length reduces the relative shift of near objects. I aim for 35 to 40% overlap when I'm shooting without a rail. I also pan against the motion in the scene to avoid visible repeats and stitching artifacts. If clouds move from left to right, I pan from right to left. For waves moving the other way, I pan in the opposite direction. Hack 3. Keep the lens centered over the tripod apex. Without a rail, you can't perfectly rotate around the lens optical center, but you can minimize the error. So use an L bracket. If you have one, so the lens sits over the apex. Balance the camera so the pen axis runs directly under the lens. It's a 10-second tweak that pays off in cleaner seams. Bonus hack. Plan the seam. Before you start, do a quick preview pan and decide where your overlaps will land. Place overlaps over single depth, low detail areas, sky, open water, clean grass, and avoid overlaps where near and far edges intersect, like branches against a distant ridge. If an overlap would cut through a messy near and far crossing, rotate your start point a few degrees so that crossing sits in the middle of a frame instead of inside the overlap. If needed, shoot one extra frame to push the seam into a cleaner zone. It doesn't fix parallax, but it hides its artifacts where they are least visible and makes the stitch far more forgiving. You can shoot clean panoramas without a nodal rail. So, at distance and simplify the foreground. Use a slightly longer lens in a portrait with, let's say, 35 to 40% overlap while panning against the motion. Keep the lens centered over the tripod apex and plan your seams over simple single depth areas. That's the whole no rail field method. Fast, proven and easy to repeat. Got questions from your own test? Drop them below and I will pick a few for the next short lesson. Thanks for watching and happy shooting!
By the way, have you heard that you can join us on our exclusive photography expeditions to Lofoten and Iceland? If you want to know more, check the link below.